Caryn arrested. Matt Roloff betrayed and forced to sell the farm for $1.5 million, shocking downfall of the Roloff legacy. The Oregon sky hung heavy with gray clouds, mirroring the mood at Roloff Farms. Once the pride of Matt Roloff's legacy, the iconic farmhouse now looked deserted, its charm overshadowed by an unfolding scandal no one could have predicted. It had been a year since Matt proposed to longtime girlfriend Caryn Chandler. At first, it seemed like a happy ending for them both, a fresh chapter following years of family tension, reality show fame, and fractured relationships. But behind the scenes, something darker had been brewing. Matt had trusted Caryn with everything, the operations of the farm, the books, and even his heart. But that trust was shattered on an otherwise quiet Monday morning. The call came at 6:45 a.m. "Matt Roloff?" asked the voice on the other end. "Yes, this is Officer Jenna Morales with the Washington County Sheriff's Office. We need you to come down to the station." "For what?" he asked, confused. "It's about Caryn Chandler. She's being held in custody. You'll want to come down." Caryn's arrest sent shockwaves through the Roloff family and the entire Little People, Big World fandom. News spread like wildfire. Caryn Chandler had been taken into custody for alleged financial fraud involving the misappropriation of farm funds, and worse, forging Matt's signature on legal documents to move assets. Matt was in disbelief. "Caryn wouldn't do this. We've been through everything together," he muttered to himself as he sat in the sheriff's waiting room. But deep inside, he knew things had changed. She had been distant, always whispering on the phone, making solo trips into town. He'd chosen to ignore the red flags. When he finally saw her behind the glass, Caryn wouldn't meet his eyes. "You have to believe me," she said softly. "It's not what it looks like." "Then tell me what it is, Caryn," he whispered, pain sharp in his chest. She stayed silent. Family fallout. News of Caryn's arrest reached the rest of the Roloff family within hours. Amy was stunned. "I never thought I'd say this," she told her husband, Chris Merrick, "but I feel sorry for Matt." Even Zach, who had long been estranged from his father over the farm sale, was shaken. "This is bad. Real bad," he said to Tori. "If she forged documents and the court proves it, Matt could lose everything." Jeremy, on the other hand, was furious. He trusted her more than his own kids, and this is how it ends? He snapped, pacing in his garage. Audrey tried to calm him down, but the betrayal brought old wounds bubbling to the surface. The family had warned Matt, repeatedly, and now the farm was in jeopardy. The investigation. Investigators uncovered that Caryn had allegedly opened a shell company under her maiden name and had been rerouting farm income into that account for nearly 18 months. Some documents bore Matt's signature, only they weren't his. An independent forensic analyst confirmed the signatures were forged. With mounting evidence, the district attorney's office prepared to press felony charges: wire fraud, identity theft, and embezzlement. Bail was set at $500,000. Caryn's attorney argued she had simply made accounting errors, but the judge wasn't convinced. As the scandal deepened, Matt's public image took a hit. TLC paused all production on Little People, Big World. Sponsors began pulling out. The pumpkin season, once the farm's biggest annual moneymaker, was canceled. And worst of all, Matt faced a decision he never thought he'd make. Sell the farm. The betrayal deepens. One afternoon, Matt found an envelope taped to the barn office door. Inside was a USB drive and a letter, and signed. The files on the drive were devastating. Audio recordings of Caryn speaking with an unidentified man, discussing farm earnings and how to cut Matt out cleanly. Matt listened in disbelief as Caryn's voice played. "If he signs that deed, we can move everything before he even realizes. He's too obsessed with family drama to notice numbers shifting." Matt dropped the drive. It wasn't just fraud. It was betrayal at the deepest level. The woman he planned to marry had been plotting behind his back for over a year. The sale. With legal bills rising and the farm in financial limbo, Matt listed the remaining property. On August 1st, news broke. Matt Roloff sold the family farm for $1.5 million. It was far below market value. Real estate experts called it a fire sale. But Matt didn't care. He was done. The buyer? A private investment group, rumored to be connected to Caryn's silent partner. An investigation was underway, but nothing could be proven, yet. As the sold sign went up at the front gate, Matt stood alone, staring at the land he built with his own hands. "This was supposed to go to my kids," he whispered. The courtroom was packed. Media swarmed outside. Amy sat quietly in the back row, her face pale. Chris held her hand. Matt took the stand, recounting how he discovered the fraud. "I trusted her. More than anyone," he said, voice breaking. "She said she loved me." Caryn's defense tried to paint her as a victim of financial confusion, of being overworked and underadvised. But the evidence was clear. The jury deliberated for 2 hours.
Guilty.
On all counts. Sentencing was set for the following month. Caryn faced up to 15 years in prison. Matt never looked at her again. Picking up the pieces. After the trial, Matt moved into a smaller home nearby. TLC canceled the show officially. The Roloff family went their separate ways. Amy and Chris focused on rebuilding her bed and breakfast business. Zach and Tori moved to Idaho, starting over. Jeremy and Audrey announced a new homesteading venture, trying to reclaim what was lost. Matt visited the old farm only once more. He stood by the fence, the pumpkin patch behind him, now overgrown. It wasn't just land that was lost. It was the dream. The dream of Roloff Farms staying in the family, of legacy, of love, of trust. Caryn's betrayal didn't just take money. It took everything. Legacy torn apart. In a private letter to his children, Matt wrote, "I've made mistakes, put trust where shouldn't have, and failed to protect what mattered most. The farm is gone, but my love for you remains. Hope one day you'll forgive me and maybe even understand me." Zach read the letter, tears in his eyes. He passed it to Jeremy. "I think he finally gets it," Jeremy whispered. The Roloff legacy had crumbled, but the family, bruised, scattered, still had a chance to rebuild. Not on the land, but maybe finally in their hearts.